It's your boy Mac Mean, true story. All stories ain't true, but this one is. You already know. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm in a different room today. Moving around, moving and grooving. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts to IP. What's up, brother? Joanna, Michael, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I just got off the phone with Money. He gonna call back in a couple of minutes. And as y'all know, today I got the interview with Money Rice, aka Terence Money Rice. Brother's been convicted of a crime that he's innocent for. He's gonna talk about that. If y'all seen any of the interviews that we did already, we're gonna get into whatever y'all want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Argentinita. Peace. Salute, salute. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. I took a couple of notes today because we're gonna do a little different thing here. I don't want to forget nothing that I want to ask. Plus, we probably gonna have some people pull up that know Money personally. You know what I'm saying? To give like some character references and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna talk to the people that know him. Hopefully his wife pull up. Let me drop the link. Angela, what's up? Okay, here's the link right here. If did y'all see that interview with 10 Toes Down? Because I think that's the most epic thing that's going on the internet right now. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If you got any questions for the brother, he's been in jail for 32 years. He's calling in from Green Haven. All right? Like I said, I got some questions. I want to do something fun for Money, man. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I speak to Money, I ask him, how you feeling today? He said, I want to be home. You know what I mean? That's his default answer. I want to be home. And you know what I'm saying? After 32 years, you know what I'm saying? So he'll call in a couple of minutes. Did y'all see the interview with 10 Toes Down, man? And what y'all think about that, man? Get in the comments, because I think that was epic. Mr. Red Diamonds, my young brother, the second best rapper in America. You gotta keep on writing, bro. Gotta keep on writing. All right. We also got Kyron is gonna call in. He was up north with Money. He was up in Clinton and a few other spots. I know Kyron. Ironically, Kyron, one of the first predicates in the C-74 that I heard about. Today's the business owner. And I'll let him explain what type of businesses that he owns and stuff like that. And also how do you take it from being a dude that's known to be a predicate in jail, you know what I'm saying, to having businesses and owning stuff out here today? How do you do that? It's a good look to have people that come home and they can depend on, you know what I'm saying, being around somebody that actually doing stuff, making money, you know what I'm saying? All right. He's going to give me a fresh call because I guess the call lasts about a half hour, you know, and y'all can get in the comments. All right. Hit the like button on the way in the door. You know what I'm saying? Stick around. Stick around. Stick around. He says he's going to call that in 5 minutes. So for now, Fugi, salute. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody that rock with the Mac Mean True Story show. You feel me? Like I told you, I'm getting an audience, a studio audience. I wanted it to be 30 women. I might not let no dudes come in the room. You know what I'm saying? I mean, excuse me, in the for the studio audience. Every 10 minutes, I'm gonna ask the people in the studio audience questions and stuff like that. Probably have a spinning wheel or something for them to do certain things. So we'll have my internet, my audience from the internet meet my audience in real life. You know what I'm saying? That should be pretty fun. Matt got a Godzilla pillowcase in the back, Godzilla background too. My room don't have no Godzilla, nothing. This ain't my room. You feel me? Even though I like Godzilla, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all to share this video today too, because we're gonna be moving forward with this story. This is not gonna just be us talking about money and getting money home. He's also gonna be introducing us to other inmates and stuff that's trying to come home. Dudes that might have a lot of time and, you know, and that need that support when they get out here. Share the video with your mama and your sons. I got some questions down here, you know what I'm saying, for this lady. Because I really want to know what it's like for a woman to be on the other side, you know what I'm saying, taking care of somebody for years, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Review report, McDonald's, salute to everybody, you know. Let's try to make this one an epic one. Green Haven used to have the boxing program. I asked them about that. He said they still got that boxing program. Back in the days, a lot of the big boxers that came from jail in New York was in Green Haven at that boxing program. All right. Mac, you're not even like that. We're gonna need some smart questions today, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like somebody calling in from that got 32 years, you know what I mean? Like that's something that you would want to formulate some good questions for. We don't want to block you today. Part of your craft is to create your version, your vision. I respect your vision. Fugi, salute. Thank you, bro. Farrell, niggas need to unblock me. Real talk. What are you talking about? You're not unblocked. For real, McDonald's, we gotta come up with the real questions today, man. While you got my attention, man, come up with the right questions. You know we gonna get it done. I know you got a real question that you want to ask. You know what I'm saying? They like hearing about the jail stories, but I like to dig into what, you know what I'm saying, like what can help a dude come home. You know what I mean? Not the things that keep them in jail. I want to talk about things that get them home. You feel me? All right. We love the trolls around here. Even the trolls get love around this joint. Y'all better respect my trolls, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them live. You know, I can't unblock the once it get out of my hand, I try not to go against with the type of decision they make on my channel. Because if they got a wrench, then you know, Komba, what's up? All right, Mike, I see you. We're on the countdown, you know what I mean? Do you have any questions generically? Like what type of questions would you want to ask somebody that's been in jail for 32 years? You know what I'm saying? Some dude did 4 or 5 state bids. You know what I'm saying? And I used to hate that. I used to hate being up north and see somebody go home and come back through. Yo, we treat them like doodle. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to ask money this because it's not right. But do you know if he has been able to sleep with a woman in the past 32 years, trailers or anything? We're going to ask him. We're going to ask him, bro. That's a legit question. Because I'm going to keep it 100. I'd have probably sold my soul to come home just to get some coochie. I ain't gonna lie, man. You know what I'm saying? But he is married. What he needs the most, okay. Big chill. No, there ain't no live job. Ain't no live job. This is some live job until we get money on the phone, rather. Okay, how do you keep a woman? Good question. I have a 98 number medium facility. After I maxed out in 2002, I didn't go back, and that's all love. That's the same thing with me. I came home in 2002. You know what I'm saying? Outside the little violation I beat, I ain't been back to jail, man. Hit that like button, y'all. Put some pressure on that thing. Let's get this video out there too. The likes do something for the channel. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows action. It don't cost y'all nothing. Take your finger and put it on the like button. You know what I'm saying? how many people you shank, bro. Ooh. 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 I don't know, man. I don't know, man. He might want to answer that, bro. Never know. Before nigga went home, we put Kool-Aid and milk in his clothes basket. I'd have drank that milk, man. You know what I'm saying? That milk, it's hard to come by in certain jails. She said, don't ask him that. I think the money's open book, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's smart, we're going to answer. We're going to ask. I clapped my first victim. Whoever that is, I just blocked him for no reason. I don't even know if he was doing nothing wrong. I just clapped him, man. I can't reverse that, man. Once you get in the scope, you know what I'm saying? Then he's gonna shoot you. You know, and I'm about to pull these wrenches again because I gotta reevaluate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I might only give wrenches to trolls and members. You know what I'm saying? People that's dedicated to the cause. You feel me? I was on a live the other day and bumped into a troll society. I didn't know they had, like, they know everybody. They got crews. Like, yo, who's hitting Scheme? Oh, that's such and such. Hit that like button, man, on the way in. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got crews dedicated to clap dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? These trolls is, you about to respect them. Some of them, that's what they do. That's what they do. And just because they troll them don't mean that they don't be paying attention. They troll when they see people that they like going left. You know what I'm saying? So Ghetto Smoke, salute. Watertown, yeah, Camp Ulster. Ask him, right, if he sees any change with the inmates with all these laws changing. Are they more calm or are they still bugging? I'm gonna ask that question. Remind me though, because you know what I'm saying, you're throwing a lot of questions. Gawanda was popping. Gawanda also had that program up in there. I seen a lot of dudes get pulled. I was right next door in Collins for 4 years. I seen a lot of dudes, you know what I'm saying, when that program came out and they had to go take that program, they had to go to the, you know what I'm saying, the Gawandas to take that program. A lot of dudes like, yo, I'm not supposed to go to Gawandas. You seen that they was going to Gawandas? They was going to the Gawandas because they was hiding what type of crime they had. Duck, duck, deuce. New member, salute. My girl Angela. I better say that, Mac me. From Farrell Guns. Don't say it. Stay doing you, homie. This is your, how do you go, come back in with your regular page, Farrell. This is not your joint. Come in with your regular joint and I'll unblock it if it's blocked. Unless I gotta go in the back and do it. If I gotta go in the back and do it, I'll go in the back and do it. I got you. IP, again, inmates really don't care now. I know a lot of times when folks are incarcerated, they are confined to the books that they are given. And in this case, I would like to ask him, since he's been out. He's not out, he's still in jail. What type of books has he been reading? And in jail, you can get what type of books you want, Hatch, because you can order the books. You can tell them, you know, what books that you want, and then they'll try to get it if they got it in the library out there. You know what I'm saying? Ask him if he takes classes or has a garden and they can eat fresh vegetables. Good question. How many minutes it took that change his life? What his life, and was it worth it? Oh yeah. The crime. He's innocent of the crime. I'm gonna let him give you a little background of the crime. He's in there for 3 attempts on cops, and it never happened. So it's a difference between them having a wrong person or something like that. We talking about a crime that never even took place, right? I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, 32 years ago, it was a nasty, nasty, nasty game. You know what I'm saying? There's money right there. Hold on for 1 second. Okay, can you hear him? Can you hear Money right now? Gotta say something, Money?
Hello?
Let me know in the comments if y'all can hear him so we can start. Give me a second, Money.
Okay. Yep, I'm here.
Salute, Mr. X. Okay, they can hear you, right? What's up? What's up, Money?
You already know. You know what the struggle is. I'm here.
Okay. Now
appreciate you giving me a voice to the voiceless.
Nah, you got a big voice out here with us. But while we was waiting, a couple people was just throwing random questions and I'm gonna read some of them. I don't want you to answer them yet because we're gonna get into our conversation. But I just want to throw some things out there just to show you how the people's thinking. They said somebody said okay, I don't want to ask Money this because it's not right. But do you know if he has been able to sleep with a woman in the past 32 years, trailers or anything?
Yeah.
Somebody asks him how can we help support him? What he needs the most. This is Duck Duck Goose. Somebody else said how do you keep a woman while you're in jail and being an inmate? They want to know about the women. Let me see.
No problem. Those are great questions.
Okay.
Great questions. All of the questions you asked me so far are great questions.
Well, you want to answer some of them? You want to spitfire and just answer some of them?
I'm ready to answer every single question because honesty is the best policy, and the answer to all those questions is simple truth. So the first question I remember, if I forget anything, please remind me. Mm-hmm. So take note of what I'm answering, so that way if I do not answer a question that was asked, remind me so I can get to that because I don't want to leave anything out.
Okay.
The first question I remember was I, over the last 32 years, was I able to sleep with a woman? Okay, yes. The answer to that is yes. In New York State, we are blessed with the opportunity to participate in what we call a family reunion program. Okay? Certain states, I'm not sure, but I believe that it's like 3 states that allow what they identify as conjugal visits. The connotation of conjugal visits for me is like an opportunity to have sex, which is really answering the question that was asked. Okay. So, but for me, the family reunion program is more than that. It's an opportunity to be unsupervised for a specified amount of time. And in New York State, it's approximately 48 hours that you're able to have a visit where you unsupervised for the duration of approximately 2 days, and outside of the having count times, designated count times, you uninterrupted. And so, yes, I was able to enjoy that with my wife and my children.
Okay. So yeah, that answers your question. Money's getting the bunnies. Okay, Money got some bunny. You know what I'm saying? We not. Yeah, we not dry out here. This is another question.
But we don't want to limit that, Mac. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
But we don't want to limit that to just a sexual escapade or anything like that, because that is the time for you to strengthen family ties, the time to have time with your loved ones, where you're able to share an intimacy that goes far beyond just a physical thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a mental thing, it's an emotional thing, it's a physical thing. So yes, the answer to that question is yes.
We have this question too. I'm not to skip over the other ones, but let me just see. This one pops up. It says, ask him if he sees any change with the inmates with all of these laws changing. Are they more calm, or are they still bugging in the time that he's been in there?
Oh man, if I had to have like a multiple choice, it's all of the above. But yes, it is a change. But it also depends on the mind state of the individual that is affected by change. But for the most part, because people have been seeing relief in a way that hasn't been done in the past, it's a lot of hopefulness. But even in that, just to be fair, ignorance level is at an all-time high. But for the most part, yes, people are seeing a change. people are hopeful for a lot of legislation. I cannot say exactly what's happening in all of the states in America, but when you talk about states like California, where they have over 100,000 people incarcerated, it's below that now. So they have made initiatives to get people out sooner, okay? Get people off probation and parole where they can integrate into society and become productive citizens. In New York State, I think some of these things are stricter than other states, but at the same time, when I first came upstate, and during the height of the crack era, it was something like 70-something. It was like 70,000 people. It was above 70,000. I don't know the exact number, so I use 70,000 as a medium. But right now, in 2022, we are at approximately 30,000 people. So people are tired. They're doing positive things, and despite the fact that they putting out there that it's a spike in crime in all areas, meaning homicides, robberies, burglaries, rapes, etc., prison population is at an all-time low. It probably wasn't this low since the late 60s, early 70s, before they started with the Rockefeller drug laws in New York State, which was basically giving people astronomical numbers for low-level drug crimes, non-violent crimes, and things like that. So it's a positive vibe. But at the same time, we're not going to ignore what's going on right now. And a lot of the things of what's going on right now, me personally, I attribute it to the pandemic. People are out of work. People are desperate. People are hungry. Things like that. So it's a so-called spike in crime. But the numbers don't lie. Anybody could check. During the 90s, the early 2000s, the 2010s, the numbers in New York State prisons was upward towards 70,000 people. Right now, as I'm speaking to the people live and direct, it's approximately 30,000. So that's telling in and of itself.
Okay, B, I'm gonna ask you this.
Yes, I'm
gonna ask you this one other question before I ask you to give them a little bit background for the people that didn't see the interviews that we did already. Duck Deuce asks him if he takes classes or has a garden and they can eat, and y'all get the chance to eat fresh vegetables.
Wow, that's great. That's a great question. I thank you for that question. For the most part, throughout the state, the answer to that is no. At one time, in New York State, again, I'm not an authority on any other state but New York State. I consider myself an authority in New York State, and I think anybody would attest to that fact simply because I have over 3 decades in New York State prison. In a prison like Clinton Correctional Facility that's located in Dannemora, New York, they have what we call courts outside. And when I say courts, it's literally property that people could go to the administration and become a manager of a certain portion of property in the yard. And when you become, you could get a stove that you could cook outside on and things like that, and you have land. So in those type of facilities, you could plant your own vegetation and stuff like that. So people have gardens and things like that there. I experienced that. Okay. In Elmira Correctional Facility, you have guys that work outside in the yard, and they plant vegetation. And then people, like I spoke about the family reunion program, so the porters and the officers that work on those sites, they got gardens and planting things like that. But the vast majority of the prisons, that's like non-existent. And the reason why I said that's a great question, because when I first came up north, meaning upstate New York State area, not counting the 5 boroughs, which is considered New York City, where they got the vast majority of these prisons at, which is a far distance, meaning it could be anywhere from 60-something miles to which is where I'm at now, in GREENE HAVEN Correctional Facility, which is located in Stoneville, New York, to the Clinton Correctional Facility, which is over 200 miles north of the city, or Attica, which is even further. We talk about 800 and something miles north of the city. They had farms. The primary economic system was farmland. So when they built these prisons in these areas, these rural New York State areas, it was farm was like that thing was thriving. So the facilities got what you call food administrators, right? And these food service administrators would basically have the discretion to provide the diet for each individual institution, the prison.
Oh, based
when
over
they
the
was during
farming.
the time of the farming, when the farming industry was up pretty much, they were able to have whole food. So guys in prison was really able to get what you would call a nutritious diet on a daily basis. That is way long gone. Like we talking about.
Oh, we used to have fresh milk too from the farms.
Exactly. Because those cows that was on the farm, that milk would be so thick when you go to the cafeteria, which we call mess hall, that you would be like, damn, what the hell is this? Like,
the fat used to stick to the side of when we used to squeeze that milk out to put in urns.
To the glass, they get.
That's right.
That's how wholesome that was at that time. Thank you for pointing that out. Because I don't know if I would have did that. You made a good point. But now, when we start talking about economics, somewhere with the turn of the century, long before that, but I'm gonna give that to be generous. They started making pre-prepared meals, which we call quick chill, because economically feasible. Man, let me tell you something right now. You ain't getting a nutrition nothing out of that cafeteria right now.
But I think Cisco provides the quick chill.
The system provides the quick chill because it's economically feasible. Meaning, in 2000, if the state paid $1.20 for a meal for each prisoner in New York State, in 2022, they might provide 16 cents. And what you get down there is nowhere near anywhere near a nutritional meal.
Let me ask you this.
Ain't no vegetation come? Yes.
My bad for cutting you. What's the food that you crave the most? Like what's the one thing that you don't get that you would love to have when you come home?
Wow. It's a very good question. Very good question. But it's a difficult one because I didn't condition myself over the years and having to deal with this, right? I don't go to the cafeteria to eat anything out of there. I go to the commissary, which do not have anything that I consider nutritional because it's all processed. Meaning, everything that I eat out of the commissary comes out of a can, it comes out of a box, it comes out of a bag. And the only thing that I can think of in this facility that's fresh is onion and garlic. But I do have family support. And I do want to acknowledge that. So when they send me a package or bring me a package on a visit, they bring lettuce, tomatoes. I just mentioned onions, garlic. They bring me fresh peppers and things like that. But I still get processed stuff from them because if I want to get any meat products, it got to be a lunch meat. And personally, just to share my personal, I don't eat red meat. So I don't eat beef. I don't eat pork, but I do eat pheasant. I eat poultry, so chicken and turkey and products like that. So those are things that I got to get that's pre-prepared, and it has to have the appropriate labeling because if it don't have the appropriate labeling, then I'm not going to be able to receive that. So when you talk about things that I crave, it's things that it's traditional stuff like a soul food. Like when my wife come on a family reunion visit, she'll bring me fresh stuff like collard greens, jams, things like that. Fresh fish, fresh chicken, and prepared in various different ways. But what I actually crave is the opportunity to be out there to have a primarily plant-based diet. Those are things I crave. I haven't been able to do that under these circumstances, but the only reason why I crave those is because I've come to learn that those are the things that is going to provide me with, long life, health, peace, tranquility, like overall life. So I'm craving things that I've been deprived of for over 3 decades.
Somebody asked, and then I'm gonna get into a little bit more. I got like a pop quiz I want to give you. You know what I'm saying? But the last person asks, please ask them how COVID has changed things, and is the vaccine mandatory in jail?
Wow, great Great question. Great question. Okay. I don't want to impose my personal views on anybody. I consider myself, because we 2 years into this thing now. All right. We almost said we are 22 months in. If it was March, it would be 2 years exactly, 24 months. But we're 22 months into this pandemic, and I say that because COVID hit me in March of 2020. Okay. At March of 2020, on March 14th to be exact, 2020, they shut the business down. It was a pandemic. It was a crisis. We don't know how to control this thing. We need masks. Vaccine wasn't even available at that time. They didn't know how to deal with that thing. I'm just giving you my reality. So I'm in here, and it's impossible. They using terms like social distance. You got to be 6 feet away from each other. You have to have masks. It's impossible for anybody in any penitentiary that I have ever been in to be 6 feet away from somebody. Yeah. I'm on the telephone right now. It's 30 phones in this yard. And not either one of these phones is 6 inches away from each other, let alone 6 feet.
You said 30. You said 30 phones in the yard.
It's 30 phones in this yard right now. Yes, it's 30 phones in this yard. I'm on the 27th phone. It's 26 going that way, and there's 3 more behind it. It's 30 phones in the yard.
Did they put more phones because of COVID, or that's a regular number?
Absolutely. No, they didn't put it. No, that happened pre-COVID. The phones in the yard more is economic reasons. You got people that got a monopoly on the prison system. All right, it's this modern day slavery. Those are my terms. And you got JPay. JPay is the ones who issue what they call them, tablets to people. Okay, and the content on the tablet, anything you buy, you're paying for text messages, you're paying to send emails, you're paying to receive pictures, you're paying to send and receive emails. What else? Oh, games that they have on their movies instead of being able to buy movies. Or you got streaming devices in the street where if you pay for the service, you're going to receive that for free as long as you got the service. Here, you're paying for each individual thing. So we are a demographic that people that got big business can prey on. So Securus and companies like Securus and JPay, etc., they got these phones. So the more phones that are being able to be used is the more money that these people are being able to make.
I know how that JPay works.
That's why they put JPay and that Securus. They got nothing to do with no pandemic. Got nothing to do with that whatsoever. That's an economic thing. That's a private company that's doing business with all the states. Because in one way, shape, form, or fashion, all the states are dealing with them.
I think the next
video TVs. Yes.
The next.
So what I'm saying, I don't hold on. Pardon me for cutting you off.
No. Go ahead, talk. Go ahead.
So that COVID question is this: when that pandemic first hit, we didn't even have masks. Okay. God was tying scarves around their face, napkins around their face, handkerchiefs around their face, because we were trying to mimic what was going on in the outside society to protect ourselves. When we lost our business, at that time, the CDC and health department said that you had to, if you contracted COVID in any way, shape, form, or fashion, you would have to quarantine for 14 days. So when we had trailer visits, which is the FRP visit I told you about, family reunion program, or visits in the visiting room, if anybody would have contracted that, your quarantine time would have been from March 14, 2020 to March 28th. You could have put an extra 7 days on that, and that would have put you into the early days of April 2020. We had no visit. We had no outside nothing. At that time, we didn't know of anybody that contracted anything because we didn't have no testing or anything going on. Subsequently, meaning after that time, certain people got ill. Some went to the clinic, some didn't go to the clinic. So those people that decided to weather the storm in their cell, these people had no way of providing data, statistics about who had it and who didn't have it. So anybody that contracted that after that time got it from staff members.
Wow.
And believe me when I tell you, we have people like an elder that did decades with me, Benjamin Smalls. His family had to deal with his death. He was at the brink of getting clemency, but he succumbed to COVID-19 because not only was his age a factor, but his underlying health issues. But we know that he passed away in the end of May of 2020 or June. So if he contracted that from anybody, he contracted that from a staff member. And sometime during that summer, they started giving out cloth masks and things like that there. And since that time, it's just been playing by ear type of thing. But me personally, okay, you asked was vaccination mandatory? No. But I will say that the vast majority of prisoners in this facility is vaccinated. Okay. They're vaccinated for their own personal reasons because you can't go on a family reunion program visit if you're not vaccinated. Okay?
All right.
And if your family is not vaccinated, they can't participate.
Incredible.
Right now, the way the visiting room is going, initially, they said in order to enter the facility, you had to have a vaccination card or even a recent negative test within 48 hours. But that doesn't matter anymore because they came out with a mandate after that anybody that's entering the facility as a visitor have to take a rapid test. And if the rapid test is negative, you can enter the visit. If it's negative, if it's positive, of course you can't come in.
Okay.
So that's the status of that right now.
I'm gonna move on. Okay, now somebody, Brian Baker asks, I think that this question gives you a little bit briefly. Could you tell the people? He asks, what is stopping him from coming home? I think that you could give him a little bit background right there.
What's stopping me from coming home is that the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office is refusing to acknowledge that not only was I wrongfully accused of a crime, that I was wrongfully convicted, meaning that the way in which they prosecuted me violated every constitutional right that was available. Meaning, as an example, I received ineffective assistance of trial counsel. My trial counsel, although he had evidence that exonerated me, had witnesses that gave statements to his own investigator that I had nothing to do with anything involved in this crime. He did not present that to the jury. The jury heard none of that. The court had a hearing without my counselor being there, meaning my trial lawyer, and had an adverse effect on my trial because people that was indicted with me was trying to testify that I had nothing to do with it, although they were there when it happened. That's really what it is. How can I say this? Like, I'm trying to answer this question so that layperson, somebody that's not familiar with legal jargon, would clearly understand. So now, unfortunately, I want to say this. Unfortunately, my situation is not a unique situation. This situation is something that if you would go onto a site that's called the exoneration registration, you will see that it's literally thousands of people that was exonerated from 89 to now. The years they talk about from, I think it's 1989 to 2019, it's like 20,250 years that has been served by people that has already been legally exonerated. And when you add that number up, that's not counting the 31 plus years that I've served because I have not been exonerated. It's what it is. You know, it's a disenfranchisement. The same way that you have at least 19 states that pass laws to make it difficult for people to vote. You know, the same thing that the president is beefing with Congress to pass right now over 60 years ago. Well, I'm not going to say over 60 because in 1963 was a March on Washington by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We already in the year 2022. So in 2023, it will be 60 years. Police brutality. At that time, They was hosing people down in the street that was marching for civil rights. Police brutality. They was standing in that counters. They was marching. The same exact issues that they had at that time, we are still beefing about the same things right now. The biggest thing that the Democratic Party is supposed to be attacking is voters' registration rights, police reform, and things like that. So I'm caught up in a system that I would love to say that I was the only one and I was in a unique situation, but it's just not. The only difference between me and George Floyd was they murdered him on the scene of his arrest. The only difference between me and Breonna Taylor is that they ran in her house, despite the fact that she was an essential worker in the height of a pandemic, murdered her. Talking about they was looking for a person that was already in custody at the time they came in her house, looking for this person and murder her, is that they arrested me. The difference between me and the Sean Bell, Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, is that they chose to do the age-old method and just lie and fabricate evidence as opposed to murder me on the scene. The only difference between me and the people that I am naming, with all due respect to their family, is that I'm able to speak about what happened to me. And they are not able to speak about what happened to them. Because instead of imprisoning them, they murdered them. But literally, I've been entombed in New York State prison cells, buried alive, for the last 31 plus years. There's really no one answer to that question. But I will say this. Anything that you may read about my case, and I urge anybody that's listening to Google my name, Terence Rice, TERENCE, and look at my petition. Anything that anybody will see as far as the fact pattern of this case, I can produce it and show that everything that I'm saying to you is written in stone. It's written in stone. I'm in prison for something that never happened.
For the brothers, for the people that's here that don't know the whole story, first of all, everybody hit the like button, you know what I'm saying, and share this video with me. For people that don't know the full case, y'all can look at the interview that me and Money did, which was last week. We did 2 interviews. We got another one that we gotta do. But okay.
You have 1 minute left.
Okay. You gonna call back?
For people that don't understand that don't understand what just happened, we would acknowledge that we have 60 seconds left on this call. So at this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang this call up and I'm going to call back so that we can continue.
Okay.
I want to thank y'all for your attention to this matter and for giving me your time.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second.
All right. I'm
The caller has hung up.
Okay. Most dudes on these platforms had the brother Money name in their mouths. You know what I'm saying? Mad dudes on this platform. Yeah, he was telling me about one particular person, you know what I'm saying? But on the first interview, we get to see some of the things that he was speaking about. But definitely you could figure out the whole how everything happened, and we trying to make that whole scenario come alive a little bit so y'all can see exactly what we see as far as the injustice of his situation. There's Kyron right there. I'm gonna bring Kyron up. After y'all hit the like button, putos, I see my man Manny in the building. My man Mr. X, Killer Kyron. One of the first predicates I met, like I said, you know what I'm saying? But I know him for being so much more. This is a brother that put me in contact with Money, and I want to ask him some questions, you know what I'm saying? Based off his time being up in there with him, you know what I'm saying? Right here is the link, Kai. So you can jump on the link. We're waiting for Money to call back.
I'm here, Mac.
Okay, Kai's about to pull up to the stream. But right now, let me just throw some questions at you. Let's get off of if y'all want to see the how Money got locked up and stuff like that, go to the first interview the petition that we got that I need y'all to sign. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's in the description.
Yeah, they could Google that name. Let them know, Mac. They could Google that name. They could go to part 1 of the interview. If they Google Terence Rice, they're going to see the fact pattern. They can sign that petition. Or I want them to do all of the above, Mac. I want them to listen to the first part of our interview. I want them to listen to the second part of our interview. And in addition to all that, I want them to Google that name, go online.
They got the description. I got the description link in there. So all they gotta do is just hit the and it's literally just for people that's kind of lazy, because we all get kind of lazy once in a while. It's literally two buttons that you're gonna have to push, and then you'll be there, and it's a petition. They don't take too much information outside of your name, and that's it. You sign the petition. But let me ask you something. Let me. I got something. I'm gonna ask you some random questions. I want you to fill them in. Kai said that you know a lot about music and stuff. So I'm gonna ask you a random question. DMX first album. What was the name of DMX first album?
I believe it's Dan Dark Side. That's what Get At Me Dog and all that on there. Yeah.
Okay.
I love that album.
Okay, the name of it.
It's Dark as Hell is Hot.
Yep. That's it. That's it. That's the name of it. It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Okay, next question. How many Kardashian sisters are there? I don't even know that answer.
Oh my God. Let me Courtney, Chloe, Kim, Kendall, Kylie.
You got it right.
That's it.
You got it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
URL TV. Okay, URL TV is a show that covers rap events to watch rappers blank.
Battle.
Facts. Okay. Loaded Lux is a
Max.
Huh? All right, Loaded Lux is a what?
Rapper. I believe he's from Harlem.
Yep.
But if he's from Harlem, Loaded Lux. That's a Harlem rapper. That's one of my youngest.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
NWA consists of DJ Yella, Ice Cube, Dr.
DJ Yellow, Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, EVE, MC Ray.
Okay, you answered all of it. All right, so let me try to trick you.
Trick me up.
I want you to answer, fill in the blanks right now, right? This is a song. There's a song out here. It's called "Send Me the Addy and I'm Hunting Him Blank."
Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, that's my Brooklyn's great young. What's his name? Oh my God.
That's Fivio. That's Fivio Foreign. All right.
Fivio Foreign.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Okay. So let me take it old school. This is a sentence from a rap song. It says, "You should be getting it and getting it while the getting is blank."
Good.
Okay, Pop Smoke is from where?
Brooklyn, Canarsie.
Okay, I'm gonna trip you up with this one.
Woo, that's that Woo kid. Yeah.
All right, K Flock is a what?
K who?
K Flock. I got you with this one.
Got me on that one. You got me on that one. I don't know who that is.
K Flock is a young Brooklyn rapper. We're gonna bring Kai in right now. Kai's in the back room. Right, and then we're gonna talk to Kai. All right.
Chief, you got an easy pass on here? Huh? You got an easy pass on here?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
Chief is from where?
Chicago, man. Come on, man.
And the last one.
Chicago.
Hit me in the DM means to what?
Hit my direct message, man. Come on, man. Wild right now. You got me on the old shit.
Okay, I just want to make sure you was on point, Money. I just want to make sure we getting good.
Listen, man, I'm relevant, man. I'm playing with my kids. I'm teaching these babies. What's wrong with you?
That's right.
I'm teaching these babies, man. They teaching me, though. They don't realize that, though. It's all a gift. They don't know it's a taper. They don't know why I'm giving them what I got to get them. They giving me what I need.
Okay.
Come on, man. Hey. This keeping me alive, man. What's wrong with you?
Hey, Kai, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, let me ask you something, man. We got Kai on the other screen right now, money. I'm asking Kai, right? You did time before, and I'm pretty sure that you know a gang of like prisoners. You know a bunch of dudes that you met in jail, right?
Absolutely.
And having spent in like a portion of your childhood being locked up, what was different from money that made you stay in contact with him and stay relevant in his life after you came home?
Well, Money taught me, basically the ropes on how to be a man in prison when I was a kid. You know what I mean? I met Money when I was 17 years old. And when I came, I was in Clinton Correctional Facility. I was like the youngest person ever to be there at the time.
Hold up. Hey, Kai.
Yeah.
We can't.
You could do that. I can hear him.
Hold up for a second. Kai, you gotta, do you got the phone connected to the computer?
To the Bluetooth. I'm in the car. You want me to put it on my?
Yeah, I see you got to turn it over.
I mean,
I'm gonna put my headphones on.
I'm good with that,
Okay.
but I would love to hear him.
He's gonna put his headphones on so you can hear him better.
Got you.
Hold up. Let me see where my speaker's coming from. Hold up. I think it's coming from the side that you're on. Let me see.
Can you hear me, Matt?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear him better now. There you go.
All right. All right. So, like I was saying, I met Money in Clinton Correctional.
Yeah, his thing is buffering right quick.
Okay.
Because I'm on the highway. Can you hear me? Am I in there? Because I can't hear myself.
Can't hear him.
Hold on a second.
I can't hear anything right now. I only can hear you, man.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to pop back up.
Hold on.
His screen's pretty black. He got to turn the phone sideways too, so we can see you.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
He's not home. He's still behind that wall.
Yeah, I'm buried alive in here.
Can you hear me?
Out this grave right now.
Can y'all hear me?
If y'all and for the people that don't know that missed it, you're looking for Terence Rice. If you just gonna look it up, if you type that name that I got up there,
can y'all hear me?
It's gonna come up. But if you go to the description of this video, you'll be able to just hit the link and sign the petition. You know what I'm saying? We can't hear Kai.
Oh, you got the charger. Can you hear me?
You need to
Yo, Matt, can you hear me?
Unmute. I don't know if you gotta deal with the settings on your mic, Kai.
Hold on a second.
Okay, so let me ask you this while we got Kai trying to fix his thing up, right? All right. Tell me about something that you want, a place that you want to see, or some place that you thought about going that you never been, that you would like to go to when you get home.
All the tropical islands, I'm in the Caribbean, Hawaii. Me and my wife had a long-term plan to visit there. I mean, that plan.
Can y'all hear me?
In our situation, that she even refused to go.
Can y'all hear me?
And suggested that they go. She traditionally take trips, especially before the pandemic started. She took a couple trips, Aruba and things like that there. After the pandemic occurred, but those are certain things that we hold sacred that we only going to go to when I'm out. You know what I mean? I want to go to some of those. I'm as I get older, definitely have an affinity for warm climates. I'm tired of the snow and ice and dealing with that type of stuff. But I really look forward to looking for things, visit places that I have no idea of what's going on there.
Can you hear me, Matt?
And culture and things like that, foods and stuff like that. That's what I look forward to doing.
Well, tropical islands.
I look forward to visiting places that I have no idea what's really going on. I guess a lot of reading opened my mind to that. So I'm trying to go. I'm on a spiritual level. I done visited a lot of places. I'm trying to do that physical now.
Let me just say something to the people that's watching, man. If you're trying to hit my phone right now, I'm obviously not gonna answer the phone. The phone is over there with the man that's on the interview on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you know, like 1+1 = 3 every day. Let me ask you something, because you are real. What surprised me, you real hip to what's going on. Every time I speak to you, the things that you tell me about that's going on, and your depth of understanding of it, you know, because they say that you don't really know something unless you can explain it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you explain things real well. We got Kai. He just pulled back up. I'm gonna pull him in there. But let me ask you this question before I bring him
Yeah.
back in. Right? Do you find yourself looking at things in this world today that we got that confuses you?
No, no, I don't look at things don't confuse me, simply because before it get to a level of confusion, I'm doing enough research where that I feel like I have at least a minimal understanding. So once I'm understanding at any level, it's no longer confusing to me no more. You see what I'm saying? I have no problem seeking knowledge. That's one of the things that I do want to hear. I have an adage, like, as we grow every day, we learn something every day. I believe that any person that think they know everything, that at the moment you think you know everything, you can't learn anything else, like that's the first day of your death. You know, so when you say confusing, it's not too many things that it's things
I can hear Kai now. I can hear Kai now. My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Go
You
ahead.
can hear me?
okay. No,
Yeah.
no, not a problem. Not a problem at all. But I just want to let you know that whether it's technology, whether it's a cultural thing, whether it's, you know, whatever's going on, economic, political, social, whatever's going on, I just seek knowledge. I just seek it, and I don't just, like, I reach out for it. And so this is why I learn more than what I already know. I'm not saying that makes me an expert in any area whatsoever. I don't claim that. But if it's something that comes to my attention, especially if I'm interested in it, I am going to gather more information that I'm able to. And right now, like, everything is at your fingertips. Just Google it. Ask Siri. Ask Alexa. Like, you have no idea how many people I talk to that look at me in a certain light, and I'm amazed because I'm like, you asking me that, and I've been in here. Like, Google it, or like, let's do this, and then they go, wow, I never even thought of that. But at the end of the day, I'm in here, so I have time to pay attention to what's relevant. When you out there and you got kids and you got a job, you trying to pay that bill, you getting calls for bill collectors and all that, you ain't got time to do the stuff that I got time to. So I get that too. You see what I'm saying? So it's a balance with that. You know, so I'm very, very, very respectful for people that's out there that's raising them kids, that's trying to figure it out. They trying to get to work. One day school is open, especially during the pandemic. That's what I'm speaking to now. School is open, the next day it's remote, and if it's remote, the kids are online. How the hell I go to work and the kids is online and I don't got a babysitter? And how can I send somebody to a babysitter when it's social distance? Like, it's a lot going on. So I don't want to stay a privilege, because there ain't no damn privilege in here. I don't want to send that message out. But at the same time, I'm conscious of the fact that I have the leisure to do things that somebody that's out there that's living everyday life and dealing with their everyday life issues, they don't have to be concerned with what I don't have to be concerned with.
Hey Kai, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear Money?
Can you hear me, Money?
Better now. I hear God much better now. Yeah.
Yeah, he said can hear you much better now. So
All
the
right.
question was,
Yeah.
like knowing so many prisoners that's still in jail, because you had that time, a big portion of your childhood was spent in jail. What's the difference, and what keeps you relevant in money life as now that you home and you're a business owner and stuff like that?
The same thing that you're hearing from him now over this YouTube, and you just now meeting him, that's the same energy I got from him when I was 17 years old in 1992 in the New World, which was upstate New York prison. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was in like a lot of DFYs and youth facilities when I was a kid and a teenager, But when I got to the man jails, you know, it was different. And one of the ways that I met money was in almost in like a conflict type of situation where I didn't even know it was a real conflict. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for him pulling my socks up to what was going on in the situation, it could have turned out real bad for me. And I had just got up north, like literally like a month. You know what I mean? So it was like that energy, he pulled my socks up to the way to move around as a kid amongst men. And he showed me a lot of my errors that I was making. He used to see me, I was a wild kid. You know what I mean? I didn't have nobody taking care of me when I first got locked up. You know what I mean? Shit, damn near my whole bit, I didn't have nobody taking care of me. But at that particular time, I had to take care of myself. So I was doing a lot of things like gambling and, you know, all the shit that you got to do in jail to take care of yourself, to get money and stuff to take care of yourself. So he used to guide me in the ways of how I used to get money. You know what I mean? No matter what it was, whatever I needed to do, he used to show me the best way to do it and the best way to deal with people while I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing. And it was that energy that I needed because I didn't have no father figures growing up. You know what I mean? All my father figures was dudes on the streets. You know what I mean? Looking up to what the next gangster was doing. You know what I mean? And meeting him in there, I didn't know him as a gangster. I just knew he was a powerful dude that everybody knew and mingled with. You know what I mean? And when he had power to make something go away that was in my life at the time, it attracted to me to learn more about him. And as I learned more about him, he started teaching me so much about the world. He used to call me the baby Mac. You know what I mean? Because real shit, baby Mac, because I was different from the other kids. You know what I mean? And he was the big Mac. You know what I mean? Like he was the man in Jay, he's still the man. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So it was like for me to be around him, I was like the man next to the man, but I was also the wild boy. So it was like, you can't really get next to money unless y'all got through me first. You know what I mean? Because of who I was. You know what I mean? How I moved coming from adolescence to up there. You know what I mean? So it was like, he showed me how to control my negativity into a positive way. You know what I mean? And he was every step of the way with that for a couple of years.
That's wild because you know me, what I know about you and stuff like that. Let me ask you this because we don't, you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to like cram in the questions, but I definitely want to sit down with you again about your whole experience. But let me ask you this, right? How did it feel traveling back? You know what I'm saying, up north, your first time going to visit money, and describe that day like what the what's the realities of what you got to go through in order to visit an inmate while they're in jail.
Oh man, I went to go see money. It's crazy because when I went to go see money, I went to go see money because I missed them, and I also went to go see money because I was in a not I wasn't actually in a good spot, but I wasn't in a spot that I should have been in. You know what I mean? And when I went there, I kind of disappointed him because I put him on to what I was doing at the time. And he looked at me like, damn, man, I'm glad you're not in here. I'm glad you came to see me. You know what I mean? But he gave me a look that was like, it's only a matter of time before you fuck around and do be in here. You know what I mean? When I told him what I was doing. And that conversation, you know, I never spoke to him again for a couple years. You know what I mean? And I was supposed to get in contact with him. I got a wrong number for him or whatever. You know what I mean? But I lost communication with him, and it always stuck with me, that conversation we had on the visit. And that point made me actually turn my life around for real. You know what I mean? Because I was kind of going backwards. And I didn't want to disappoint him, and I didn't want to really be back in jail. You know what I mean? So things led me to start moving differently. And at that point, I started really turning around.
Okay, what's the advice, right? What's the best advice you can give somebody that's coming home after doing like a long stretch? I ain't talking about like the 5 years. I'm talking about the 10 and better.
It's, you got to stay focused. You got to be able to have a plan. First of all, most people who came home from jail after doing that amount of time, I didn't do 10 years. I did 7 years. You know what I mean? But the 6th year before I came home, because I got hit with a year at the parole board, that year that they hit me with, I knew I was going to go home on my next parole board. So that whole year, I made plans. I started buying like barber equipment because I used to work at the barber shop in Collins Correctional Facility before I came home. So I started buying barber equipment, ordering it from my commissary account so that the jail would see that I'm setting myself up in the street. I also applied for a barber school while I was in jail. From jail, I was applying for all this shit.
so that when I went to the parole board, they already knew. I didn't even have to say what I was doing because they had all this. They seen what I was buying. They seen the barber tools I was buying and stuff like that. So when I gave them my plan of what I was going to do when I got home, they let me go. So what you got to do is you got to have a plan, and you got to execute your plan before you're coming home. So that way, when you get home, you already in the mix of it. And whether it be getting a job or because most people in jail, it's going to be hard to get a job unless you got a trade that you know. So what I did was I took the trade that I knew and I went and created my own lane. You know what I mean? I went to barber school, and then after barber school, I opened up my own barber shop. You know what I mean? So once I had that, I had my program. It's like you got a program in jail, you got to come out on the street and make a program out here so that you don't go back to jail. Because if you don't got a program, you're going to fall into the shit that's going on, right? Your homeboys and the homegirls and all they doing. And if you forget your program and go do all that shit, you're just going to get caught up. So that's what I did. And that's what a lot of people got to do.
Let me ask you something, man. Hey, Money, I want you to hear this. What's the first ratchet thing what's the first ratchet plan you got for Money when he come home?
Shit, I can't do nothing ratchet with Money. I'm a married man. He's a married man. Only thing I can do with Money, shit, I can't do nothing ratchet with myself. You know what I mean?
I ain't trying to set nobody up.
Great answer, son.
Word. It's nothing ratchet left in life. All we doing is enjoying. We probably, shit, when he free, he gonna take me to an island some motherfucking where. Because they can give his ass so much goddamn money for the trauma that they put in his life. He ain't gonna need my money. But if he do need it in the meantime, we going some motherfucking where. You know what I mean? Word, we gonna enjoy and celebrate.
Okay, that's pretty much all the questions I got. I want to say is this, right? I'm gonna go through some of the comments so we could let Money get a glimpse of what people were saying and stuff like that. The Duck do say you was kidnapped by the government.
Exactly. That's an accurate representation. Thank you, Duck Go.
And she says she signed the petition and she's been proactive. Oh, you got a lot of friends out here right now.
Much.
It says
thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, D Black. Do you Ming says his brother's in Green Haven and his name is D Black. You ever heard of D Black?
D Black?
Yeah.
D Black, that sounds like my Bronx youngin'. I got a youngin' from the Bronx named D Black. Yes, Green Haven, absolutely. I know him. Yep, absolutely. That's one of my youngest right there.
Okay, Argentinian Rita said that they signed the petition. Said
tell him thank you very much. Like my thing, just me saying thank you seems insufficient, but I appreciate that more than I'm able to say.
Somebody else says hit the like button. They say hold on for a second. My good friend was wrongfully convicted for a crime, and he says also Brian Baker says thanks for the answers and answering that question so well. So you put the details on it for him. So he says Money salute.
I'm happy to be helpful. I'm happy to be helpful.
G Money is here. G Money says salute. IP is here. That's me.
G Money is my brother. G Money is my brother. G Money grew up with me. G Money is following me on social media. I'm following G Money. I love you. I hear you. I feel that energy from you. Comrades for life, G.
And just in case y'all don't, if y'all on IG and y'all want to follow Money's page, it's Terence Rice. So TERENCE .RICE Rice. You know what I'm saying? You have let me see what other questions. Thanks for answering that so well. I signed, and Brian said he signed the Terence Rice petition. Brian has been holding us down tonight. And then Ming said, yeah, that's him. You know what I'm saying? From the Bronx, right?
Yo, Money.
No doubt.
Money.
That's my
Money.
Kyron,
Money.
Guys, asking you a question.
Money, you still got your Scarface tapes?
Hell yeah, I got my Scarface tape.
Yeah, look, Matt. I told you, Matt. Look.
Let me tell you something in case you think you asking me something like I'm slipping or something. Brad Jordan, Houston, Texas, South Ward Zone. He just had a kidney transplant from his son. He had a kidney transplant. He went through some health issues, you see what I'm saying? Which was very serious health issues. And while he was waiting on the transplant, his son was a match for him. And he basically said, I'm paraphrasing, I don't want to speak out of turn. His son was like, he gave me life. So if I'm able to return that favor, this is what I want to do. And that was something that he just went through. But hell yeah, I still got my shit. Let me explain something to you, right? They looking at me like my youngin, with all the respect that I'm humble by this, all the respect, they laugh at me because me and you both know that don't nobody got no damn possess or none of that. They like CDs, all that obsolete. Like I got all my shit, and I'm taking my people with me too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, all my NWA things, got my Spice One,
Spice One, Matt. That's the one. Spice One.
That's who you was talking about earlier. We was trying to figure out ways to stump you earlier about throwing some questions at you.
Yeah, y'all not gonna be able to do that, man. And let me tell y'all that I want to Mac Me is my distant cousin that I'm just meeting. All right, y'all know that. Y'all can look at the resemblance, family's resemblance and all that.
We definitely related somewhere.
Yeah, that's my family right there.
I told him last night, Kai, that I said I've been looking at your face, man. You look like every cousin I got in my family. You know what I'm saying? I swear, like every cousin. You go to my family reunion, you're gonna see 13 Monies up in there arguing with each other.
Yeah.
Yo, you be surprised who Money know too, bro.
Yeah.
Money know every goddamn body.
That came to rescue me from the shit.
Now, this is what for the people that's watching, right? I'm about to end this part of the interview. I just wanted to give the people in the audience a chance to ask people that's been inquiring about money. We got another part of the interview. We're gonna with the case part and the introduction to money. We're gonna have one more part where we're gonna do that, right? But then we're gonna go and we're gonna try to, like, y'all know what I'm about, that therapy. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try to help some other people moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Get their stories out there. Money's gonna expedite that whole thing moving forward. But for the people that's just getting here, that don't understand where the petition's at, the petition is in the description. So all you gotta do is hit the link, hit the button once, twice, and then the petition is signed. Job done, right? And any questions that the people that don't see the video while we're doing this live later on, the petition is there. If you want to follow his Instagram, it's Terence.Rice. And I urge everybody that's looking at this that don't got the full spectrum of the story to go to our first part of the interview and then go to the second part, and give that a listen. It's a real good listen. You know what I'm saying? And I have a good. I enjoy talking to
You have 1
Money.
minute left.
All right, and as he got 60 seconds left. Go ahead. Say what you guys say, Money, and we're gonna wrap this part up and then finish the rest probably tomorrow or the day after that.
Right. Listen, I just want to thank everybody for their time. You know, y'all could be doing anything in the world. You know, instead y'all listening to this and giving me y'all time. And I want to say that I'm very, very highly appreciative. I urge y'all to sign the petition. One of the things about signing that petition is that any updates we put, you should get an email from change.org acknowledging what the update is. I want to build support system where when we direct y'all, meaning putting up emails with decision makers, y'all could demand my release, demand attention to causes that we may have. Your voice count. Your voice count. Do not believe that it's nothing you could do, whether it's writing a letter in support, whether it's sending an email to somebody, stating what your position is.
Secure it. Goodbye.
That's money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? That's money. Hey, Ivan, thank you. I appreciate it, bro.
Peace. Thank you, beloved. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Everybody in the business.
Ivan, what up, bro?
That was Kai. He said, "What's up?" We gonna.
Hey, how you?
I'm good. I'm good. We gonna chop it up later though, because I could barely hear you too.
Okay. You got my number.
All right, yeah, you sound way clearer now.
I put the phone directly next to the camera. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
okay.
Kai, let me ask you this before I head out the door, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, um, and you did answer a lot of this, right? But I want you to ask. I want for the people that's home that did time that don't know how to start, get their foot in and get right. How do you go from being an ex-prisoner to a businessman that's eventually earning money and sustaining a life for your family? Not just a businessman by on paper, but a businessman for real that's actually making moves happen. How do you do this?
Well, for me personally, when I came home from prison, like I said, I had a plan. But within my plan, I started having children. And once I had children, I told you earlier, I didn't have a father figure, you know what I mean, in my life. So I said that my children was never going to grow up without a father. So what I did was I had to start providing for my children and my family. So I had to provide for them by any way I could. And I made sure that the way I did it, I can always be here for them, no matter what happens. You know what I mean? So that helped me have a focus as well, my children.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
And then you got to have a strong, you got to have a strong woman, because you got to be faithful to your woman, because when you have a strong woman and you faithful to your woman, then the sky's the limit on how you can grow in this world. But if you going out there and you cheating and doing dumb shit, and I mean, if you can't keep it 100 with the person that you lay down with every day, you can't keep it 100 with nobody. You know what I mean? So that means if you do the right thing and you have an orientation about your life and a focus and a goal, and you reach for that, you're going to get it, no matter what the hell you do, what career, profession, whatever. Because your career can only be what you can afford to live off of. You know what I mean? So if you ain't got no Benz and mansion or big house or none of that, then your job don't need to match that shit, because your bills ain't that. You know what I mean? But as you grow in life, so will your bills. And once that happens, then your career also grows. You know what I mean? And as long as you stay focused and keep moving correctly, then you're gonna be successful.
Persistence,
Straight like that. Your problem's
persistence.
not gonna be the regular problems that you have. Yeah. You're gonna have different problems. But the thing is, you just know how to deal with your problems now, because it ain't the old problems.
Can you tell people some of the businesses that you have and some of the things that you got going on?
Oh, shit. When I first came home, I started up my barber shop and a dry cleaners. And then from there, I opened up a bigger barber shop in Brooklyn. And then from there, I opened up a smoke shop on the Indian reservation up in Mastic, New York, Long Island. And then after we got that shut down, I started making movies. And from the movies, I started doing investments and stuff like that. So one of the investments that I did was into box trucks, doing deliveries for companies. And then from the box trucks, I grew to tractor trailers. Now I own 4 tractor trailers. I own a property where I rent out parking spaces to other tractor trailers. You know what I mean? I got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. Let me hold something, man.
I give it to you every time we talk.
That's right.
Game.
That's right.
Free game, brother.
That's right.
Stocks, Bitcoins, everything is an investment. Anything money is to make money. You know what I mean? Like back in the days when I wasn't used to getting no money, I would take my money and buy jewelry and Rolexes and and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But now I take my money. I live in a house. I got the mini mansion and all that. I got the cars and all that. So now what I do is I take my money and I invest it into like stocks. I watch my money grow every day now. You know what I mean? And at the same time running these other businesses. But stock
Yeah.
market, that's my day-to-day fun now.
Yeah.
Playing with that shit.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on countless phone calls. I done stayed up mad nights trading, so I know I know the grind. You know what I mean? I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I tell you what, right? We about to get up off of this. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy Kyron. You can check him out on his YouTube page, Kyron Hodges. He's also the one that created Crackheads Going Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that shit's still popping too.
It's still popping. Millions of views on that.
Still
And
popping.
also, you could go to Kiani Streaming. We're gonna have the Mac Mean show on there soon. KIAGNI Streaming. If you want to see any movies that Kyron has made, he got a few movies out that's popping right now. A couple of joints was on Amazon. I don't know if they still up on there, but he got his own site.
Yeah, they still there.
Yeah, so
go to Kiani. Fuck Amazon because they robbing. You know what I mean? Go to Kiani.com, KIAGNI.com, just like you said. You can see all 15.
GNI, and you can get all these movies, but also you want to
for free.
Yeah, you want to pay attention to this because if you got a channel that you got rocking, you know what I'm saying, there's some dope content, you might have an opportunity to present your stuff up there too. You know what I'm saying? The doors
absolutely
open. And,
we're looking for independent filmmakers and podcasts, everything to put on the streaming platform. We all monetize. We splitting the income with the monetization on the advertisements with everybody. You know what I mean? You don't have to have 4,000 views to get monetization and none of that. We got it from the gate.
And that means that instead of getting robbed by YouTube and these other streaming sites, you'll be able to have a home where you can drop your stuff. You know what I'm saying? KianiStreaming.com.
And get paid for it.
And get paid. KIAGNI. We'll have an interview popping off with Kyron. Our interview is going to be brutal. It's going to be dope, and it's going to be sad, and it's going to be happy. But it's definitely going to have a message attached at the end that we're going to show y'all how to make some money out here. And y'all already know I'm heavy into crypto and stock. They call me Kid Crypto, low key. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Rain Man. You know what I mean? Like bring me your money and I'm gonna make you rich. But you gotta sign up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show commitment.
Yo, Matt, go get Celsius, boy. ASAP.
Celsius? You in Celsius?
Celsius, bruh.
You know what? You're not about to take me on this trip, bro.
It's lit.
You're not about to take me on this trip.
Bro, I took a bag today.
I will be on tonight.
I took a bag. You got to get on tonight. Get it in the after hours because it's down right now. I think it's like 43.10.
You see what they've been doing to my Ethereum, though, man. Ethereum just been getting clapped.
Bro, once I seen Bitcoin go down to 30-something, I said, I ain't touching it because that shit may go back down to 13.
20. You know what I mean? I seen it at 29 and I just closed my eyes and cried.
Bro, I left that alone and I went back to the different companies, man. I went back to the stock market, bro, because even the stock market went down. You know what I mean? But now's the time to get it while it's down because that shit gonna go back up. But you know what's gonna go back up right now? The digital companies, these fucking sports drinks companies and the companies that make the batteries for these electric cars. Celsius, that's the sport drink company. That's Russell Simmons' company, Celsius. Popping. You know how I got put on with that? Him and Kimora Simmons was going through some problems. They were suing each other because some shit with their assets. And he gave her a whole bunch of millions of shares of Celsius, and it came out in the court proceedings. And he was like, look how you're doing great off of Celsius. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, well, let me look this up, see what the fuck he talking about. Man, that shit was a bingo, my nigga.
No, I'm not gonna give him too. We're gonna do our interview, and we definitely gonna dig into it. But you're not gonna take me on this ride tonight, man.
Bro, go home. Well, when you get off, go on Celsius. Get it now, boy. I'm telling you, because tomorrow is going back up again.
I'm gonna check it out. I promise. I promise. I'm gonna be burning your phone up tonight.
Yo, I caught a bag today, sold it, and then got in again at 20 points less than what I bought it at earlier when I got the bag.
That's why you hype.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying tomorrow morning is about to go up again.
I'm gonna be on it tonight. I'm gonna look at the aftermarket, the after hours, and see what we got going on. I wasn't trying to touch nothing right now because I was trying to get past my taxes and stuff like that before I jump back in. But my long terms, you know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna talk. All right. Get up off of this. It's your boy Mac Mean True Story. All stories ain't true. That's my boy Kyron Hodges. Check him out on Kiani Streaming, you know what I'm saying? Or Kiani.com, excuse me, Kiagni. The link is right there. You can also go follow him on IG, Kyron Hodges, KYronHodges, on Instagram, YouTube, all that. Y'all can follow Money,
All that.
Terence Rice, Terence.Rice on Instagram. Go run the numbers up for him, show him some love. You know what I'm saying? He's paying attention. All right. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.